Coronavirus coverage. President Biden is halting travel from South Africa and 7 other African countries. This is due to big concerns over the new strain of the coronavirus. Health experts say this one may be even more dangerous than the Delta variant.
Decided that we're going to be cautious, make sure there's no travel to and from South Africa and 6 other countries in that region, and except for American citizens who are able to come back. But we don't know a lot about the variant except that it is a great concern. It seems to spread rapidly.
And the governor of New York is declaring a state of emergency to COVID-19. She cites the high transmission rate and the emerging Omicron COVID-19 variant. She says she's very worried COVID-19 cases will overwhelm hospitals. Statewide healthcare facilities are logging more than 300 new coronavirus admissions every day. The governor says that's why she's empowering health officials to limit non-essential medical procedures. The protocols will start December 3rd and run until at least mid-January. In addition to sparking travel restrictions, that COVID-19 variant is shaking up global financial markets. The World Health Organization is naming Omicron and calling it a variant of deep concern. KCRA 3's Christopher Salas is live in our Washington bureau. And Christopher, has this variant appeared in the U.S. yet?
Good morning, Leticia. No, Dr. Anthony Fauci said it has not been detected in the United States yet, but this is a developing story. Just this morning, the UK's health secretary said that 2 cases of that variant were found in the country. And then this is also developing. We know that 61 people on a flight from South Africa are now isolating in the Netherlands after they tested positive for COVID-19. No confirmation if that is, in fact, this new strain of COVID. Now, what's concerning about Omicron is that it has an unusually high number of mutations in the spike protein. Experts fear it could be more transmissible and reduce the efficacy of vaccines. Scientists are already testing that, and they do expect to learn more in a matter of weeks. You just heard from the president, and we'll hear from him again. He halted travel from 8 countries in Africa, including South Africa, and he says he wants to be cautious.
We don't know a lot about the variant except that it is a great concern. It seems to spread rapidly.
And the president also said that U.S. citizens in those countries will be able to return home even when that travel ban goes into effect. It is expected to go into effect on Monday. Leticia.
And Christopher, what are vaccine makers doing in the wake of this new variant?
Yeah, so Pfizer and its partner company both have said that they're collecting data and they should have new information on this strain in about 2 weeks. And specifically what they're looking at is whether or not they have to adjust or modify their vaccine. Now, if they do have to do that, they said they can do it in as little as 6 weeks in order to fight this variant. And then if they have to modify the vaccine, they can get the first doses out in about 100 days. As for Pfizer's competitors, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Novavax, they say that they're all studying the variant closely, something everyone's going to obviously keep an eye on. Leticia.
Thank you, Christopher, for your report this morning. And the drug maker Merck says its experimental COVID-19 pill is not as effective as previously reported. New data from its study shows the pill can reduce hospitalizations and deaths by 30%. That is down from 50% reported last month. U.S. health officials are also raising questions about the safety of the pill during pregnancy. The Food and Drug Administration will hold a public meeting next week where experts will debate the drug's benefits and risks. Only 20% of fully vaccinated Americans have received their booster shot in California. That number is up by 28%. And here's a look at the vaccination rate in California. 67.3% of Californians 12 years and older are fully vaccinated. 8% are waiting for a second dose or choosing not to get one. And more than 5 million people have received their booster dose. Here's a look at the vaccination efforts across the U.S. 62% of the country 5 years and older are now fully vaccinated.